guess who's back and more terrible than ever? Okay, wait, no. I can't start it like that. Hello, it's Rhea. Wherever you are and whatever time it is, I hope you are enjoying yourself. There's many things happening. One, I do have a band-aid on my finger, but it's not anything serious. It's just this morning I had noticed that my skin was like peeling a bit, like one layer too many, so I was like, oh, so it kind of stung a little bit, so I put a band-aid on that, but nothing to worry about. And it's been a while, but basically this year is coming to an end, and I figured I'd go ahead and wrap up at least one of my mini sketchbooks that I work in. So yeah, that's what we're gonna be doing today. I am actually filming this for the second time because the same thing happened the last time I tried to film a sketchbook tour, where like TV was on and it was very loud and annoying. So here I am in complete silence, and it feels very awkward, actually. I feel very loud all of a sudden, and it's making me get like stage fright even though no one's near me. Cool. On my second take I have tea, so I can sound a little bit more alive. And I also have my tiny tingan, look! I had lost him for a while. I thought he fell off in a grocery store, and so I was really worried, because I didn't have him for long, but I found him. He was hiding under my desk. He's so cute. So yes, I'm excited. Tingan will be here to keep us company as we go through this sketchbook. I've had the sketchbook since spring of 2020, and I finished it a couple of weeks ago, and I don't know how many pages this has, but I compared it to my other sketchbooks, and it had more than 60 and like less than 110, so I'm gonna say roughly about like 75-80 pages are in this thing. This was originally used, like I originally purchased this for advanced ceramics, because in that class we would do a lot of sketching, or at least it would be encouraged for us to sketch a lot, so that's why I purchased this. So it became my study sketchbook as a part of that. So hopefully this isn't like entirely boring. A lot of it is just like character art and anatomy art. All of that aside, let us just jump into it. So this is the first page. It's basically just like a little quick sketch of me and my little desk area, my giant freaking desktop, and then yeah, I have a pretty big desk. I like it, but it also takes up a lot of space. And these over here are stickers. These two are from Maruti Vitamin. They're a really famous artist, but their art's really cute. And this is from Shiroi Room, and both of these came from like extras from like an order that I did a while back. And yes, I'm really glad they gave me stickers because they're so cute. Pretty straightforward. Spring 2020 to fall 2021, or basically winter 2021, but... And on terms of zooming in and stuff, I'm gonna like refrain from doing that this time, just because I don't feel like it's that necessary. I don't think the sketchbook is that interesting. If there is anything to zoom in on, it'll probably be for comedic relief, and I'll just zoom in manually via editing, so... Yeah, this first page is pretty much just like... this was me going back later and trying to fill out pages, any like blank pages, because that's what I do. I don't really go in order in a sketchbook sometimes. Actually, for the most part, I don't do that at all, really. I just kind of go through which pages I feel like going to at the time. So I'll skip some, and then I'll go in order at some parts, but anyway. I came back and was trying to like practice how flowy hair looks for my latest avatar, like my latest icon, because I was making a new one, and I was like, I want my hair to be like flowy because it's like ethereal up in the sky. You get it. Anyways, over here is just a bunch of notes, I think. Yeah, these are basically just notes from ceramics class, so if some of this sounds like it doesn't make sense, it's because the rest of it is in my head. Like, the context to it is in my head. And then these, I don't really find any of this particularly interesting, or at least I don't think anyone would find it that interesting. It's just me drawing out cups and brainstorming visually. And yes, more notes over here. I think that one's about like trimming bowls. And here is the one of many spreads that involve figure studies. You know, like you just go in on, what's that website? There are so many these days. There's like, I think I use a Line of Action and our Sketch Daily, but if you guys know any more, please let me know, because I'm always looking for some to check out. Also, I'm sorry if you can hear me scratching my head. My hair itches every now and then, so. Also, I am using these lovely Hello Kitty stickers to censor any nudity. Oh my god, Tingan, I'm so sorry. I'm using these stickers to censor any nudity or whatever. I don't find it that big of a deal, but I know, like, you know, the internet embodies. This is just a spread of me probably trying to take up space, to be honest. I think this is done with like one of those thicker micron pens, but yeah, I kind of like how that one turned out. But yep, just me taking up space once again, like going back whenever like trying to fill out more pages and stuff. I like them too. This character is cute. I don't know them, but might make them an OC just because they look cute. And then over here, we have more, what's it called? We have more brainstorming for things. So, like, we have a lot of different, like, ideas that I'm trying to, like, put together. I think if you can read it, it's like Lotus teacups, Sakura teacups, because I really wanted to, like, make those things. And it's such a shame, honestly, because basically that was whenever COVID had really hit all of the world, at least in the US, that's whenever we started shutting down. So it was like, I left spring break thinking that I'd be able to come back and, you know, finish all my stuff, but I didn't, and it's very heartbreaking, actually. More figure studies, once again. Not anything super interesting, but yep. And I feel like, I don't know, I almost feel like, oh, I'm sorry that they look so bad, but that's kind of what they're supposed to look like, at least in my opinion, because I was doing them on a timer. I don't think I put how many seconds. This was probably like a minute, but usually I do like 30 seconds or a minute, and you know. And here's me planning out some more bowls. I really wanted to make a ramen bowl, and I still do want to make these things. It's just like, I have to find a pottery studio that I can go to, and then I'd have to relearn everything essentially, because it's been like almost 2 years, and it's just a lot. Oh, I think the most heartbreaking thing is that I didn't get to glaze anything that I made because I was waiting like later. I was waiting later to glaze them, so if I could just find a place that would at least let me glaze what I've made, even though it probably wasn't the best, at least I'd have something then from that time. And over here, palette color Eno, you'll see I do a lot of studies of boys or like masculine looking characters, because I was really trying to like incorporate more of that. And yeah, more studies, more cute sticker censorship. Yeah, there was like Pinterest studies over here, and then these 4 are all photos of things that I've taken, but they're paintings that I did. This was back, this was definitely in 2020, because I remember around like summer, maybe like late spring, summer, maybe even early fall, I was trying to get back into acrylic painting, or at least like some kind of more in-depth traditional painting than just sketches, and so that's why I ended up doing like little studies, photo studies from things. And I think this one is probably my favorite, or the most accurate. This one is a disaster if you compare it to like the actual photo that I took, because I love the actual photo, but this was so messy. But it happens. Considering that I am not really that, let's see, I've used acrylic paint before, but I don't know. It turned out okay. Over here is just a bunch of studies, sketches again, of like characters on this side, shoes on this side, because shoes are something I've been trying to get better at, and recently I finished a commission and I was really proud of how I did the shoes, and that was because not because of this page for sure, oh god, but because of a page that I did in another sketchbook. Once again, character drawings. Like I said, there's a lot of these in this sketchbook, but yeah, unfortunately at most I just sort of branched out using Pilot Color Eno, and there's nothing wrong with that, but I don't know, I wish I could make these look a little bit more interesting, and I think that also comes with arrangement, like better arrangement. It's something I want to get better at when it comes to sketch spreads. Also, I just noticed I drew a wolf here. Wow, hello. Is that 10-year-old me? No, I'm kidding. Over here is, these are all done with those fancy pencils. What are they called? Graphite pencils, yeah, because I was taking like the only other art class that I took in my entirety of like actual drawing art class in college was this was for like drawing. Like I was testing out the new graphite pencils that I got to sort of get used to them, because I just sketch with whatever mechanical pencil I can find. But more characters over here. And then these, I believe, are like stylized. These for sure are stylized. In fact, there's actually already a video on this one. It's like the first time I was testing out Pilot Color Enos. And then these, I think, are other kinds of colored pencils that I have. And I think these are also stylized studies from Pinterest, but yeah. And then we have the 100 Heads Challenge, which I'm going to zoom through because once again, I already have a video about this, and this is also kind of old. I completed this like September of last year, so yep, it was a time. If you don't know what the 100 Heads Challenge is, it was created by Ahmed Al-Dori, I believe, and basically you draw 10 portraits a day, and for 10 days, and then at the end of it you have 100 portraits that you've drawn. And I definitely recommend it to everyone who draws, basically, especially if you draw people or you want to draw people. I just feel like it helps you get used to the human face and all the different kinds of human faces, and it really just helped break me out of my that awkward stage that I'm sort of slowly seeping back into right now, where it's like I go to draw and I feel anxious and I don't know what to draw, and then I'm like, how do I do this? But after doing so many of these on the daily, I went to go draw again and it was just like clockwork. Like I just jumped into it without thinking, and everything just went a lot smoother then. But yeah, and this is the last page. As for this, so these were sketches, or like, yeah, little sketches based off of a concept that I wanted to do for the longest time. It is not in any way a new concept, but because there's like so many people that have either drawn or want to draw like this whole girl in the sky, and she has like clouds near her, or she has like the sun or whatever. It's a very common thing, but I still think it's valid to try and do, and I still think it's very cute. So hopefully one day I'll get around to illustrating it. And over here, this was just me once again going back in and trying to take up the page, like fill up space. And right here, I believe, yeah, these 3 little squares was me testing out these Holbein acrylic wash, the acrylic wash, the Holbein brand. I was testing these out here, and I really liked how they looked, because it's like very flat and I kind of like how that looks. I definitely want to go back and explore with those more. Now we are doing hand practice again. It's so crazy. I feel like I'm going through this so fast, and I don't know if it's because it's the second time of me filming and my patience is done, or if it's because like I realize that there isn't as much to ramble about as I did the first time. But anyway, hands, studies, 30 seconds. I actually put it here this time. This was going to be like an in real life study that I did when I went on an art date with a friend. Me and her went to like this Japanese garden, I believe, and I just didn't get around to it. It was a very chaotic time, but yeah. And then more studies. Yep. And then this, I believe it's like I hadn't, this is whenever I hadn't drawn my sketchbook, like this one, for a while, so I was like, let me just get back into it and just fill a page with some random stuff that makes no sense. I think this was like based off of a Pinterest drawing. It probably was, but yeah. Just about 50% of these are in some way from Pinterest, if not Our Sketch Daily or Line of Action, so yes. But usually what I do with Pinterest is I take the pose and I just like make a character in that pose. Sometimes I'll keep them the same, but sometimes I'll try and like, for the most part, I try to like mix it up. As you can see, there's more censorship stickers because I was like, I forgot how to draw boobs. Time to go back and do that again. So yeah, that was just me trying to get a feel for how they are. And it's a shame that I have to put these over, but once again, internet and bodies. These were thumbnails for a silkscreen project that I, because I was also taking silkscreen in my final semester in the fall of 2020. Yeah, in the fall of 2020. But I was like, okay, it's not even that serious. I don't even like this class that much. I'm just trying to get this done. So I didn't use any of these. I used the one on the next page, but I do want to make this, like an illustration. Yeah, here we go. So this was what it, that's the thumbnail that I ended up creating for like the final illustration for the project. And then these are all just like pinups. Yes, I believe they're like pinup studies that I was like too lazy to actually go back in and like add faces to or anything. So yeah, but I like pinups because they're always like cute or interesting poses, and I want to like play with those more because it's just always more fun than just to draw a character like casually standing or sitting in a casual way. As for these, so this is just a spread of a bunch of tired people because I'm in a constant state of exhaustion, and so I was like, here's the place for me to accentuate that. I don't even think that's the verb that I meant to use, but it's fine. Also, why does this person look so suspicious? Understandable. Over here is one of the illustrations that I went back to go do, because I don't normally do like a full page illustration in my sketchbooks. It's not something that I'm used to, but it is something that I want to do more. So I enjoy doing this because I was like, oh, cool. I did that, and it didn't take a ton of effort, but it still looks pretty nice, and it's a nice mix-up between all these casual sketchy pages that I'm doing of like body studies and all that. I drew this whenever I got like back from New York because there were a lot of moments where I'd be like alone and staring out over something, and so I wanted to sort of captivate that feeling here in this little sketch. But yes. And then this is a witchy spread. A bunch of witches. I think I did this in 2020 for Halloween because what else are you gonna do when you're stuck inside? Yeah. I think I like this page more, actually. Probably because it has like actual faces and stuff. Where these are all like headless, which is kind of funny, but And then here we are going back to the casual sketches of randomness everywhere, and then me trying to color it in with, what's it called? Crayola Super Tips? Yes. Then over here is me trying to figure out hair, which is why it says hair, I suppose. It's basically just me talking about like the different kinds of ways that I like to approach drawing hair. And for all I know, all this could change immediately. But I think for the most part, it was a really helpful thing to do. And I feel like doing these every now and then definitely helps me get a feel for like where my art's at and like how I want to go forward, if that makes sense. And now over here we have me sort of testing out more hair. I like this little character right here. He's so tiny and cute. And then this was something that I sketched solely for a video, but not for like the typical video for this channel, but for like when I was taking documentary production and I was doing a documentary about like art and the struggles of an artist. And I think like filming myself draw this was one of the things that I did, because I was like, it's very simple and I'm not gonna put a lot of effort into it, so yes. And then here we are going back to character spreads of me sketching a bunch of people. I wish I did the spread more like these two, where it's me basically layering colors, different colors, but like only two, so that way it's not too overwhelming, because I like that. I like how that looks. I just feel like it looks more interesting than just seeing pencil all the time. But I know like lately I have done a lot of sketches in pencil because I feel safer that way. I feel like when I do things in pen, I'm not confident enough, and so I get anxious. Also, if I had colored any spread, if I could like color any spread in the sketchbook, it would have been this page. And if I did, this would probably be my favorite spread, because all of these are basically my OCs, and I believe it's just me doing Pinterest studies once again, and that's all the sketchbook is, apparently. But yeah, so I would draw my OCs based off of like models on Pinterest that I saw, and here's pretty much like a lot of them. Wow, I have so many. But I just like how cute everything is, I guess. And then once again, some more Pinterest sketches, but turned into my OCs. So this is Sai, and then this is like my two OCs. One of them is like a cat girl, the other one's a bat girl. Very original, I know. I also really like this one. Like, I like how this sketch turned out, because normally I hate side profiles, like a lot, because they kind of kick my ass, but I like how this one turned out. And some more. That is Prism. I don't like how it came out though. Like, I don't like how this pose came out. That's Aura. That's Sai again. That's Data. That is Kane. I think that's Hydrangeas. I don't know who that is. That is Mira, and I believe that is Mira's brother. This, once again, if I went back and like decorated around this, kind of like how I did in like the previous spread that I just showed, I feel like it'd be a little bit more interesting. And, oh, these are all done with like friction pens, like the erasable ones, but they're like colorful versions of them, basically. Because I really like using the erasable pens. That way I can draw in pen, but like I don't have to feel too pressured by how pens are in nature, where they're just unforgiving compared to pencil. But yeah. So yes, these two are two of my quote-unquote VTuber OCs, and they're not actually VTubers. I just like clown myself in saying that because they both of them are supposed to be like streamers, not like as an occupation really, but that's kind of like their little group, I guess. And so here's two of them. You probably saw them as magical girls in one of my recent videos, I believe. So yeah, I think I'm still trying to like tinker with her design a little bit, because I switched some things around recently where her hair is a little bit different. Yes, my sapphic page. So in around Valentine's, of course, I was like, oh wait a second, I don't really draw that many characters interacting. Like, I have no cutesy, lovey, coupley type things going on. So that's essentially how I came along to doing this page. A lot of these are like from Pinterest, or basically inspired from Pinterest, once again, because it was my first time like sketching this kind of you know, cute interactions, and it was really fun. Honestly, like, this page, like, whenever I finished it, I felt so healed. I was like, look at these girls just enjoying themselves. I love that for them. And so of course, because the girls were thriving, I had to do the same for the boys. And yeah, a lot of these, like, just Pinterest references and me trying my best, even though I'm so incredibly awkward at drawing interaction. Here is where I'm like, oh right, and I also haven't drawn people kissing or anything like that before, so let me go ahead and explore that. Yeah. But oh my gosh, okay, and so here I have a little blush page going. I'm pretty sure this was from one of those emoji or like emotion templates that you see on like Pinterest if you like type in emotions chart or whatever. I don't know. That's probably Kane, and that kind of looks like Mira, but I just love the expression because it looks so goofy and precious at the same time. So, as you can see, here is my 18 plus section, because it was basically my first time trying out that side of art. Obviously I'm not going to be showing anything, but I guess in the future, if I did ever show any art like that, I could like make a Patreon for it. At least in regard, like on Twitter it's probably fine, although I might make a separate account if I ever do. But basically, yes, I was like, I want to try it out. Sure, why not? And it's not really something that I feel I need to like explain a ton or feel like flustered about, because I am an adult. I've consumed a lot of adult content. Oh my god, that sounds so sinful. I'm so sorry. No, this was supposed to be a pure channel. I'm kidding. Honestly, like, if you know me, yikes. No, a lot of it was like a lot of awkwardness of me still trying to figure out anatomy and depth and things like that. Like, a lot of it was still just me being like, okay, it's time to draw the titty exposed. Like, it's not anything really that deep. But I did think it was funny to like draw this little thing of like me being a bouncer. There's also this another sketch page, of course, because that is all that is in the sketchbook, it seems. And then over here, this is me getting back into like emotions again, and like I said, or like I explained earlier, this says it's based off the magical pouch 100 face meme. I want to go back and try to get better at emotion, because I feel like I touched base very slightly here and I just left it alone after that. And here we are at yet another sketch page. I don't really feel too particular about any of these. It's kind of just sketches in colored pencil, but yeah. And then hands once again. And oh, I actually like this spread. I wish once again that I had did some kind of decoration around these characters or something to like bring them all together. But yeah, it was me finding outfits or like outfit inspiration on Pinterest. I think this one is my favorite, maybe, if not this one. But this one I actually did like an actual why did I say actually twice? This one I did an actual digital drawing of, so yeah. And then here is fashion studies, but like I think me trying out like the wrinkles in clothing, because I was trying to like see how clothing folds work. Yeah. And then this is me trying to figure out what head looked like again, because once again, Sometimes I just genuinely forget. It's not on purpose, I swear. It's just when I don't draw for a while, I'm like, how does anything work? Do we exist? Is that a thing? And then here is me doing hands once again, nothing new. Hands continue to kick my ass, and so the only way for me to actually conquer this is to just go through handheld and just do this. Like literally just pages full of hands. And then there's a spread. I feel like this one was really cute. Once again, I do feel like the multiple amounts of color is a little bit overwhelming, but I guess I just really wanted to utilize those friction pins. Yeah. These are just like different, I think it's like me testing out fashion, but also like poses maybe. And here we have some more sketches of the dudes, the bros. Yeah, I like this one a lot. I wanted to do this, like, I wanted to make like a sketch, like a digital drawing of this. But I never got around to it, so I should soon, because I like the little egg sweater. And then there's this one. Nothing like particularly amazing. And this, I think this is my favorite spread. Not because I felt like anything looks particularly amazing, but like just because of like the Muji pins, and like how they create this really fun look. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but it's like, there's just something about it. It's really fun to like layer them. So I really enjoyed like here, layering like the pink and blue, and the blue and red. I just found it very fun. And then, of course, as it says here, I'm dying and tired of life, so let's practice male anatomy. Yep, that's it. That's essentially what this sketchbook was. I actually kind of like this page. Like, my goal is to be able to draw like this, but without a reference. At least a reference like all the time, you know what I mean? Like, I want to at least get somewhere remotely close to this without having to look at every single detail from a picture. And then here we got the muscles, because I don't know, people say like it's supposed to be helpful if you like study the actual like skeleton and then like the muscles of body parts. That way you can see how the skin wraps around it, and that might help how you draw them. So I was like, sure, I'll buy it, I'll try it out. So that's me drawing like ripped legs and biceps. Then over here, once again, more male anatomy. Yep, nothing new. Same old. And then of course I was like, okay, that's enough. Back to cute girls. So I did a page of probably Pinterest studies. Did I say that right the first time? Anyway. Yes, with my Muji pen. And over here is basically just more, well, first I did like, why was I gonna say strawberry? First I did like little sakura cherry blossoms. Just me trying to like, this is like whenever I start to go more into doing non-human drawings. But because I just did these at first, I was like, this needs to be filled up with something. So I just did some really quick figure, like gesture studies from Pinterest. Here we are going off into, yeah, flower studies and things like that. I love cherry blossoms. I don't care if that makes me basic. They are pretty, they are cute, and I just love the energy that they have. And then did some more over here, just in colored pencil. And then over here, moth studies. I don't know, I find them really cute. I think this one is a rosy maple moth, I think. But yeah, I think they're really pretty. I know a lot of people, or like some people, are scared of them, which can't relate, but I guess I could understand. But I don't know, I think there's like uglier bugs out there that look a lot more concerning than those. So. And here is where I try to draw animals once again, and then I'm like, yikes. It's been way too long. Then over on this page, it is me practicing hydrangeas, because I love hydrangeas. They're very lovely flower, and I don't know, I just like the sort of soft energy that they have, if that makes sense. I love the whole rainy season thing where it's like people post pictures during like April and things like that of hydrangeas, and it just makes me so happy. So now we are getting towards the end where we're getting into like the studies that I did at the botanical garden in New York. So here's the first page of that. It's just me doing this in all pencil. Just trying to get those fine details. I like how these leaves turned out. I start out with pencil, then I go to Muji pen and try out doing some more. So we got some leaves and flowers, plants, and then I go back to pencil again. Trypophoria warning, wow. I mean, they're not like that bad, but I guess they might be unsettling for some people, but yeah, lotus heads. And of course lotus flowers, because I love lotuses as well. I pretty much draw every flower that I'm fascinated with, but yeah. And then over here I was drawing these in what's it called? Colored pencil. And then over here, me drawing more weird plants that I saw. Some that kind of look like lotuses, some lily pads, these funky little plants, and I think it was like a violet. It looks very pretty like in person, but I just couldn't actually convey that. And then once again more lotus heads, sorry. They're like strangely, like they look disturbing, but at the same time it's hard to look away from them. And then also I did a little koi fish here. And I think I like this spread even better than the last one, like the very last spread that you'll see. Probably because it's like so simple, and each of these flowers looked really pretty in person. And yeah, here is the second to last spread. I did this all with a black Muji pen, and I love the way that this bird turned out, because like that is pretty accurate as to how it looked in person, but like it just looks so goofy, I don't know. I really like this spread too, I guess because it kind of reminds me of like tattoo art or something, like the ink, because it's just black and white, but yeah. And then this is indeed the last spread, I believe. A couple videos ago, this was the Draw With Me video that I did, going over all the botanical studies, but I colored them with colored pencil. And yeah, I do really like it, but I think I like this one just a bit more. It's probably the color palette actually, because it's all like mostly warm colors. That could be why, as opposed to this, which is kind of all over the place. But nevertheless, it was really nice and fun. Yeah, no mind to this nonsense, but on this this page is gonna be my evaluation page, so where I pretty much talk about, you know, what I feel like worked, what I feel like didn't, you know, how I feel going into the next sketchbook, blah blah blah. But yeah, and I mean, regarding all the things that I feel like went well and what didn't, I think for one, merely filling this out in itself is a pretty valid accomplishment, especially during like these past 2 years. I know it's been rough for everybody, and especially for me. I've just been extremely exhausted and not really having time, and when I do have the time I don't have the energy, and mental health struggles and all of that. So I will say, even though I probably would want to do so much more, it's always something I can work on in the future, so I'm not gonna really let it feel overwhelming to me or like get me down. I do plan to film one last Draw With Me for the year, but we'll see. It would be in my fan art sketchbook, which is also very close to being filled up, but like I said, we'll see. If I don't post it before the year ends, I'll definitely post it like early January. But I'm pretty sure that is all I had to share today, so if Tingan would love to be here for the outro. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed your time here today, please feel free to leave a like, and if you'd like to see more of my stuff, you can always check out my other videos and subscribe. For reference, if you're new, I am Rhea or Etheria, and I like making art and art-related content. while I do try to post weekly, sometimes I fall off the face of the earth, and I'm really gonna try to not do that next year, but we'll see. You can always check out my other social media for more timely updates or to see that I am ghosting on there as well. So, once again, thank you so much for watching, and I wish you a nice rest of the year. Take care.